All right, cool. So we have this hands-on build the login page. I'm going to drop that in here, which is in the 00temp 44 class. At github.com goes to 11 Golang Web Dev is the repo. And that's right there. That's where you'd go. GitHub goes to 11 Golang Web Dev. 00temp 44 class. I'm going to call this 07. Just random stuff in here. Use the code in the starting folder to create a login page. Process successful login for those credentials. Let's go look at that. Starting code. Main. We have a user struct, template, DB users, DB sessions, and init, all of our templates. And then we are automatically populating. For that key, that email, we're creating a user. And in that user, we're going to store the username, the password, the first name and the last name. So we're populating our database. And then we have index, and we have bar, and we have login. And we have to write our code here for the login. Okay. Is that, everybody got that? Understand that part? Yeah. So now we're going to go look at our template, login. And we have a form. And it's sending over a username and a password. Cool. So we're going to come in here and we need to process this. So one of the first things we want to do is get our form values if those are coming in. And if those are coming in, the method is going to be post. So we'll say if request method is equal to method post. Right? And that's just a constant from the NetHTTP package that stands for the string post. If that's the case, we are having form values coming back. And the form values are going to be username, which is going to be the request.formValue, which takes a key. And that's the parameter, the variable name. What am I looking for? What word? The identifier that's storing the value, right? The variable that's storing the value, username that gets passed in by the form. And then we're going to do the same for password. Request.formValue, password. So the password that comes in, we're going to get that and assign it to P. So we have our username and password now. How many people got that? Yeah? Yeah? Cool. So we got a username and password. Now what do we need to do with our username and password? We need to make sure that the person logging in actually exists in our database. Well, up in our database, we have DB users. And DB users has got a user in it with this information. So we'll just check DB users to see if that person exists. And what else is happening here? So to check DB users, I guess, does this username exist would be the first question. And so we could do if username, okay, colon equal, DB users, and then pass in the username. Semicolon. If that's not okay, I'm not sure I'm going to use not okay. So if that's not okay, the username does not exist, correct? You get that, Alex?
Yeah.
Patrick? Jeremy? Yeah. Nina?
Yeah.
Woohoo! Look at you guys go, using the comma okay idiom. Look at the brain on Brett. That'd be a good Pulp Fiction spoof. Brett, can you tell me the comma okay idiom? Say what again? I dare you. Whoa, boom. All right, that's looking pretty good so far. I'm going to do this, though. DB username, I got that messed up. DB username is going to give us back a user. So I got that turned around a little bit. So if there is no user, we are going to do HTTP error and it will be response writer, error string, forbidden, and code, HTTP status, forbidden. Return, because we don't want this function to continue anymore. Done. Return from this function. And we don't need to use U up here, do we? So, blank identifier. Does that username exist? Sweet. If that username exists, now what do we need to check? Does the username password combo have a match? Right? And I think we're going to need the user now. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Because to do this, we need to be if user.password. See, we don't have a user, so it's not pulling it up. So I need to do var u user, or better yet, duplicate that line and just have u and get rid of this. Because otherwise the scope is only right here, right, for the user stuff. And now I'm just going to do if not okay right there. Cool?
Yeah.
And so now if user password is equal to password, but we don't want it to be that. We want it to be not equal. If they're not equal, HTTP error, W, forbidden, forbidden. My computer's hanging. Bear with me. And return. That looks pretty good. That might be better than the code I have further down, if not the same. But I like my comments. So does that look righteous?
Yeah.
I'm getting into like Pulp Fiction speak. Do they use the word righteous in there? There's a righteous quality to that Samuel Jackson character, though. It's quoting scripture, even if it's made up.
Yeah.
And then he kind of has
It was well done, Matt.
he has a coming to change a heart. All right, so we've got a username and we have a username password match. Are we logged in? We're partway there. What else needs to happen?
We have to create the session.
All right, we got to create a session. How do we create a session? So we know we got to use DB sessions. And what goes into DB sessions? We need some sort of a cookie value. Okay, so there's logging in, which means we got to create a cookie value. So we got to create a session. Okay? And so C : equals ampersand HTTP.cookie and and name is going to be equal to session, or is it sessions? I think it's session. And value is going to be equal to, oh, now we need a UUID. So SID is : equal to UUID.newv4. And now we could do SID string. And so there's our new session, and we could do a few more flags in here. We could do HTTP only, true, and HTTPS. Isn't that one of them? HTTP only, and max age, if we want to live for a certain amount of time, is equal to 60 seconds. Sessions only live 60 seconds. Cookie only lives 60 seconds. But we didn't specify any of that, so we're going to leave that out. Good enough. So now we have a cookie, so we could say c.value. So that's the key is going to be equal to the username, right? And the username on this is un. So when we pass in this, we get the username, and with the username, we're going to be able to get out of DB users the user. All right, so we created our session. Is that it?
What about the setting the cookie?
Oh, thank you. When you set the cookie. Response writer, cookie. All right, and now for login, we need to serve that login template. Maybe we'll redirect now. Request. Now see others 303, it's going to change it to get and then return. Does that look right? And now we're going to do TPL, execute template, writer, and the name of this template is going to be login.gohtml, and we're not passing in any data. And we don't want somebody to log in if they're already, you know, logged in, but whatever, we'll just leave it at this for now. So we might put in code to prevent them from logging in. How many people nailed that?
Well, I had to look at some of your examples to figure
Yeah,
it out.
of course. I mean, I was having to like ask you guys questions to figure it out, and you were prompting me. That was awesome. Patrick, it's good. So now when you run this, let's see what happens. So Control C, K, 06, go run main. And what did I just run? I'm in 07. Change directories, 07, and I need to go into starting. I'm in 07, hands-on login, and go into starting. There we go. Go run main. Localhost, go to login. Oh, this is I want login, right? Sign up. No, login. So there's login, and I could log in as. Do I have sign up on here already? I don't have sign up in here already.
Well, you put that default thing requirement for the James Bond.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Why is sign up? Why are we getting? Oh, because there's a form on index. Never mind. All right, so I put a form on index. Okay, so.
Should we fill the form in then, or can we just go straight to login?
Yeah, you can log in James Bond and not stirred. Submit. James Bond. That was sweet. We are awesome. I need to turn off my last pass. Any questions?
Well, I guess my question is then what difference does it make if you fill that form in? Like if you didn't go to login and you filled that form in, does it and you put different information in? How does that affect it?
Oh, if I just fill this in?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a way to log out. Not sure what will happen if I create another one before logging out. But let's just start Virgin. Control C, go run main, come here, test.
So put different information in and see what.
1, 2, 3, T, F, submit. See, I don't have a way to log out. I haven't built that yet.
So it's not taking you to that login page because you didn't use it.
Well, I did go to the login page and I logged in, and it worked.
Okay, all right.
Cool. Creating a login page.